Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out?
Yo, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Off Schedule podcast. And, today we have a very special guest, a guy you know and love, a great person, one of my close friends, a guy who has been always doing a lot of good things in the community and for himself, always bettering himself. And now he's turned it to the youth of the world right now. And soon to be best-selling author,
Soon.
Julio Ayamel, man. How you
Man,
doing, bro?
appreciate it. Glad to be back, man. It's been a long time since we've been on here. I'm sure the people miss us, so just giving the
Yeah.
people what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, it has been a long time, with the football season and everything like that. Focuses were shifted, but
Exactly.
now we're back, man. We're back, and let's just jump right into it. For those who don't know, Julio can now add author to the to the list of things he does. I mean, he be cutting hair, he be washing cars, he be cooking, he be doing all kinds of things.
Chill.
But now you could add author to that list. So, like, why don't you just explain the book you wrote and what it's about?
Yeah. So the book is titled "The Things I Wish I Knew." The title pretty much came from just what I wish I knew when I was growing up. But to give you a little backstory, growing up, like in my household, in my community, like in my family, finances weren't talked about. And you know what I'm saying, my parents being foreigners coming here from Africa, not really understanding how, you know what I'm saying, the world of America works and capitalism and financial literacy and all that stuff. So they couldn't teach me what they didn't know. And growing up, it wasn't until I got to like a junior or senior in high school, I was blessed enough um, to get a scholarship to go to a private school named Good Counsel in Olney, Maryland. And it wasn't until I got there and I met a couple of my friends who I'm still friends with till this day, and also my accounting teacher until I was introduced to the financial literacy world. And that's where I learned what a stock was. And my friends who are at the school, they come from different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? It's a private school, so a lot of people from different backgrounds, wealthy backgrounds, etc. And stocks were normal to them. It was like they just knew it because their parents understood it, understood financial literacy, talked to it about them. And for me, it was just like a whole new foreign concept. And I've always been able to earn money. Like Isaac said, I do a lot of things. I've always been able to earn money. Um, I'm very frugal, so I've always been able to save money. I hate spending my own money. I want to spend everybody else's money but mine. But
You and
I've
me
always
both.
been I've always been able to save my money. I just growing up, I just never knew what to do with it. I never wanted to buy like toys, whatever it was. Like I just saved it. I never knew what to do with it. And you know what I'm saying? And my friends, like their parents would open stock accounts for them, savings accounts, XYZ, in different ways for them to grow their money as they get older. And I never had that luxury. So fast forward, May of 23 when I graduated, I was currently in a book club, which I'm still in, 2 years strong, with these same friends from high school. And at the time, we were pretty much doing like weekly goals slash assignments. It was like, okay, do this hard workout this week, do this, do that. It's just a way to keep each other accountable. And one of my friends, his name is Chad. Since we all just graduated, we had a lot of time on our hands, and he wrote his obituary. And he was like, "It's a great way to self-reflect how you want to be remembered, X, Y, Z." And I was like, "I don't really want to do that. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't want to write about when I'm dead. I
Yeah.
want to live. I love my life." So I was like, at first, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna write a book, and it was gonna be about my life, like growing up, X, Y, Z." But I'm like, nobody really cares. Everybody has their own life story. Like that doesn't really do no impact other than just checking off a goal in the book club. So then I was like, all right, like we always talk about finances, we always talk about things that are going on in the world. Like, why not just create a financial literacy book? And then I always want to be able to help the youth and help people coming after me. I live by these three words: create, impact, empowerment. And what better way to start with the youth? So I was like, okay, target the youth. You know what I'm saying? Target that. And then the title came to me. It was like, these are just the things that I wish I knew when I was a kid. So that was pretty simple. And then
Hmm.
writing it was obviously simple because I know exactly what I wish I knew when I was growing up. Now that I'm grown up, so it's like
Yeah.
that was pretty easy for me. But so that kind of was the process into starting this book. And the purpose of this book is really to simply start the conversation between the parent and the child. I feel like if my parents had access to this book when I was a kid, even though this was foreign to them, as they're reading it to me and kind of walking me through some of these things, they're able to learn themselves as well. And now this is a great way for both of us to learn together about something that's very important. And it's not a deep dive and a crazy deep dive into these topics, but it's just a basic general analysis of these topics. That way parents and even kids can do their own research into in the age of Google, TikTok, YouTube, and all that stuff. They can simply, what I'm saying, research these things because for me, it wasn't the fact that I wasn't able to do it. It's just the fact that I didn't know these things existed. So now
Yeah.
that we're presenting it and we're making it people aware that it exists, it's like, okay, now I know what questions to ask. Now I know, okay, I can ask what a stock is. I can ask what interest or inflation or whatever, what I'm saying, whatever it is. I can start asking these questions and find these answers for myself and be able to execute in the financial world. So that's kind of the purpose. And even though that is written on a elementary school reading and comprehension level, that way kids can also understand. It's not meant for kids. That's where a lot of people get misconstrued. It's not only meant for kids. Just
Hmm.
because it's a picture book and it's colorful and it has, what I'm saying, simple words to kind of make everyone understand. It's meant for everybody, all ages. It's meant for anyone who lacks a basic foundation into financial literacy. And this way, it's not complicated enough so the kids and the adults can understand that at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was reading it. I was like, a lot of this stuff, it's not just for kids. Like I feel
Exactly.
like you said, adults who are reading this to their kids can actually learn a lot from this. I mean, a lot of people our age can learn a lot from this
Exactly.
because they don't know about stocks. They don't know about they know about saving, but they don't know how to do it. They're not really invested in doing that type of thing. And some of the things you talked about in the book are definitely stuff that a lot of people our age, kids, and through all age groups can really take and run with. Honestly, so you kind of touched on the process a little bit. So how? But I want to dive a little bit deeper. Like how? What is the process of writing a book and getting it published and getting all the drawings and all that stuff? So how does that
Yeah.
work?
Nah, it's crazy. I'm blessed to be able to have a network of people around me who have also written children's books and books in general. My sister's clients helped a lot. Shout out Vad Lee, JMU alum. He helped me a lot as well. Um, but just being able to have a network of people around me so that way they can navigate me into the right direction and I don't have to go through some of the mistakes that they probably went through. But I mean, I went through my own mistakes as well and my own troubles and bumps that came along the road. But pretty much, it all started with the Google Doc. You know what I'm saying? Simply
Hmm.
just getting words on a piece of paper. Starting with the title, then finding like chapters or subtopics or whatever you want to call it. Um, and then pretty much just writing the book in general. Like I said, it wasn't that hard for me to write just because it's literally based off of what I wish I knew. Um, so that wasn't pretty hard, but the process after that is what really took time. I had to find an editor, somebody to kind of make sure it was on elementary school reading and comprehension level. Check my spelling, my grammar, make sure everything is punctuated the right way and formatted the right way because you know what I'm saying, as you get the type and stuff, sometimes when you're writing something formal, you kind of blend it in with a text message, and now it's like, oh, like you know, feel me? It gets complicated. So you need somebody to look over your work. And then, like I said, I'm thankful to have a network. My illustrator is her name is Asia Goffin. She's my sister's best friend. So blessed to have that in my network to be able to illustrate this book. She did a great job. Like literally, I gave her a bunch of I took the Google Doc and put it into Canva and then just added like random art pictures and like here's like a rough draft. Now like make this come to life and she did an amazing job. So yeah, so my illustrator was Asia Goffman. Of course, you know what I'm saying? You have to pay these people. So I had to pay the editor, pay the illustrator,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it came to self publishing, I did it through a website called Ingram Spark. And like I said, my sister's client, my sister does hair, so her client was able to direct me into a self publishing website that was not too complicated to navigate.
Yeah.
So pretty much on Ingram Spark, all you have to do is upload PDF versions of the contents of the book and then the cover. With the contents of the book, it was pretty easy. The cover, on the other hand, was complicated. They required a specific format. Like it took us at least a month to figure out the
Wow.
format to upload it, and that kind of delayed it. And then getting shipping and all that stuff, like that kind of delayed. So it was a lot of hiccups, but everything worked out at the end. But yeah, I mean, everything costs money, so you kind of have to develop some type of initial funding. So I used, it's called Kickstarter. It's pretty much like a GoFundMe for projects, and
Yeah.
I was blessed enough to reach my goal, and which really helped pay for my illustrator, pay for my editor, and then also help pay for my website. And then I used my own money to pretty much fund the initial X amount of copies of the book that I purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I got some stickers, some thank you cards, some packages. I had to also get like a label printer, the label. So it's a lot that goes into it, but um, just being able to, like I would say, the network around me kind of helped me a lot. Um, I did all of this in under what, from May to January. So I did all of it in less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good. Turned out great. The initial reaction from everybody was great. Everyone loved it. I was sending a lot of copies off the gate. So
Yeah.
everything was pretty good. I'm blessed to be in this position. So everything is pretty good.
Nah, for real, man. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people talk about doing things or they start it out and they don't finish, but for you to start that and complete it, like you said, in less than a year, and just being able to network and use the people around you to to facilitate that process. I mean, that's really cool. I mean,
Yeah, and we're not done yet, man. It's gonna be a series. It's gonna be the Things I Wish I Knew series. The
mm-hmm.
next title or subtopic, I know what it is. I ain't gonna tell y'all yet, but you feel me? Stay tuned, and the next series will drop soon. We're gonna start working on that, writing that soon, but it's definitely gonna be a series. I have definitely a lot of more things that I wish I knew when I was growing up. So I got a lot more to present, and just stay tuned and hope everybody loves it.
That's crazy because, like, when I was looking at it, I was like, man, this really looks like those books that when I was a kid, you would see they'd have a series of like 4 or 5 books or stuff
Yeah,
like that. And this, like, that, that's cool as hell, man, for real. Like, the fact that you did this, you invested your own money into this to make this just for other people, not for like selfish gain or anything like that, but to give out to other people, to give to your community, to give people a head start or a stepping stone into bettering their lives in general. And I just think that's an amazing cause to do. I mean, I've never written a book, so I mean, I've always said or acted like I was gonna write something, and then once I start writing it, it gets it gets real dark real fast.
yeah, nah, and people kind of get this misconstrued. People think that people get into the book industry for the money. It's not a very lucrative business. You can ask
Mhm,
anybody who's written books. It's not at all. You know what I'm saying? So really, the real reason I wrote this book is to go back to the three words that I use to define my purpose: to
mhm,
create, impact, and empower. I just want to be able to give the knowledge out there to, you know what I'm saying, because we're not taught this in school. A lot of,
mhm,
like, nobody teaches us these things unless it's our family. So it's like I want to be of impact to the younger generation and to, you know what I'm saying, people in my community, in that way, just to present them with the knowledge that they need just to equal the playing field out. You know what I'm saying? Just to, so they're not behind the eight ball when they are adults. They at least know some of these topics from when they were kids, and they can research it and develop it and execute, because you're never too old and you're never too young to learn
mhm,
about financial literacy. That's where it is. Like, people always think that you have to be a certain age to start talking about finances. No, you can start from as soon as you can start talking. Like, You know what I'm saying? Parents can
Yeah.
start teaching their kids ABCs in financial terms. They can open up accounts from when the kid's born. There's a lot of things you can do, and it's just that the knowledge just needs to be presented to you. That's all it is. So that's really why I'm doing it, and it's not because it's a lucrative business, because it's not the most lucrative business that I have. So,
Oh shit! Hey, stop! Hey, chill with the flex, man.
hey
So
man,
like,
cutting the hair pays more than selling books. I'll say that.
so how would you say that this process has changed you in terms of like in any aspect, how you view the world, how you view certain things?
I'll say this process has just I'm definitely more busier now. Between like taking, cause I'm trying to get this book in as many families and many homes as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have meetings with like people to try to set up elementary school visits, middle school visits, visits, and stuff like that, and constantly having meetings and calls about it. So I'm busier between that and then packaging the books myself, shipping them out myself. So doing everything by myself is busy. So I've already been an organized person, but now I have to be even way more organized to a finer detail just to fit everything between school, football, cutting hair, books. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this process has just taught me patience and gratitude, and like just when people buy the books and they message me and they tell me how they're reading it to their kids and talking about it to their kids, it's just like this is what I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm able to just impact one kid's life, like that's all I need. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if I'm able to just be an impact just to one kid, then my job has been accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know what I'm saying? So just and also a sense of patience. Like I went to elementary school the other day and just trying to read to, you know what I'm saying, third graders and stuff like that, when who don't really, you know what I'm saying, understand finances and stuff, and they don't really know too much about money. Like they're talking about dollars, like $3 for McDonald's or whatever the case is, and just trying to and just making sure you're being patient with them while you're reading, because you know they're gonna talk, they're gonna get distracted and stuff. So I guess this process is also teaching me patience, because I didn't really have patience as a person before this process,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, and I'm developing my patience. But when you want to work with kids and do stuff for kids, it definitely teaches you patience very fast. You have to
Mm-hmm.
take a deep breath and like, okay, they're kids, like it's gonna come along. So patience is a big one as well.
And so when it comes to getting books into like schools and libraries and things like that, is it something you have to do uh like could you get it into individual school or has to be a county thing
So
where it gets
yeah,
accepted by the county?
you can do it per individual school. It has to go through the librarian. They have to read it, approve of it, and then I'm looking to donate right now. Like I'm not kind of looking for schools to purchase the book.
Mm-hmm.
I've been blessed that I've had a few people donate several copies, so I have like several copies to donate.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to donate, but it also has to get approved. Just because it is a school system, it has to get approved. So far, I've donated to several people who are teachers. Teachers are also allowed to like have books in their personal library in their classrooms. I've been
Mm-hmm.
able to do that. And I've recently donated to a program called the Gus Bus here in Harrisonburg. I was able to donate three copies to their library as well. They work with after school programs for elementary schools and stuff like that. And I'm working on trying to donate more copies to different programs and schools as well. But each school kind of has their own system through their librarian, and each program through their program head or whatever the case may be. But haven't had to deal with the county yet, so that's kind of the process right now.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's hey, bro. I mean it when I say like I'm extremely proud of you with this. This is really cool. When you sent me this book, I was like, "Yo, this is like a legit book. Like it is really good. I really enjoyed it. Um, illustrations, the writing, how it was put together, like everything about it, man. I'm really proud of you, bro. It's real cool.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Well, all right. This has been another edition of the Off Schedule podcast with my boy, best-selling, soon-to-be best-selling author Julio
You should
Ayamel.
get the book. The link gonna be somewhere right here. Isaac gonna put it there. The link right here. Make sure you purchase the
Yeah,
book.
definitely go pick up the book, check it out. I mean, and stay tuned because, like he said, there's gonna be some more gonna be some
Gonna
more
be
in the
coming
series.
for
Hey,
sure.
and we're gonna be looking at this in like 10, 15 years when I got some kids and they're in
Exactly.
school and they're gonna be seeing this book. I'm gonna be like, I know the author, so it's gonna be.
Exactly.
But all right, y'all, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace. Appreciate it.